What if I told you that you can change any belief, and to change a belief is not really that special, okay? And this is what this video will be about. It's about how you can change your entire belief system. Okay, well, what happens, by the way, if you change your beliefs, or what are beliefs? This is probably something that you ask yourself. So beliefs are nothing else than a thought, right? It's just a thought that you started to believe that it is true. So it's something where you have like intensity and conviction about that. So even a normal thought, just a random thought that occurs right now in your mind, like anything like right now, just listen to your head. What do you think? This is also a belief. But because you have not that much conviction about it, okay, my head is maybe just thinking stuff. It's. So every single thought is actually like a belief, right? They are just more intense beliefs and less intense beliefs. So some stuff is really hardwired into your subconscious, and other things are not that much wired in your subconscious. So there's like a difference in intensity, right? There's like a normal thought, then a belief. This is already where I have a bit more conviction. We have experienced maybe something that gives you evidence that it's true, or emotional intensity and evidence, right, about this. And what is even stronger is a conviction, a really strong conviction. And this comes very often from your childhood. Like the deepest beliefs where we are so convinced come very often from our childhood, what we learned from our parents, right? For example, some people are deeply convinced that they are not good enough, right? So this as an example. So it's just a thought combined with evidence and intensity, emotional intensity, right? And your brain starts then to believe, oh my God, yes. If you hear it very often and repeatedly, right, then you start to believe that. When you see something very often, like nowadays, what is very often seen? The fitness industry. People pump very often, they train muscles, and for some kind of reason, people believe that this has to do a lot with health. In fact, it has actually not much to do with health. It is more for performance reason or for physical attractiveness, but fitness has very often not much to do with health. But people believe that because a lot of the mainstream, of the mainstream stuff propagates that. They talk a lot about that it's kind of have to do so much with health. So people start to believe that, yeah, my God, this could be true. But it's bullshit. Real health has to do with bringing balance into your system. Anyway, so, okay, what are the advantages if you change your belief? Well, if you change your belief, your entire life can change. Think of a difference. When you were a child, let's say there's a random child, and there are two children, they are siblings. Okay, one learns that for some kind of reason, he learns, okay, I'm confident, I can do everything. The other child learns the opposite. I can do nothing, I'm not confident, nothing is possible for me. Now, what do you think if they get 20 or 30 or 40 years older? What do you think will be the difference in their life quality? Would you think there will be a difference? I bet there will be a difference. Okay, so the difference will be huge. It's like between hell and heaven, really. And this is the difference when you change your beliefs to the positive. You can't assume how hardcore the compound effect will affect your life in the next weeks, months, and years, or even decades. The compound effect of having these positive beliefs. Okay? So, okay, how do you change your beliefs? The first question is, first of all, what for? What do you want? So just think shortly. What do you want? So what are your goals? What do you prioritize right now? Can be anything. And then just ask yourself, okay, like from this level where I am towards the next level, don't think too far ahead, just on the next level, maybe in half year, 1 year. Okay, what would my ideal self believe in? What would my ideal self believe in? Okay, and there are three different beliefs, like an I am belief. For example, if you want to upgrade your confidence, you can start to choose the belief I am very confident. Okay, like my ideal self in 1 year is very confident, or just confident. Okay, just think on the next level. For example, if you thought to improve your money situation, you have like already business or job, but you are not a millionaire. To upgrade the belief too hardcore, like when you just started getting some money, you live from your business, and now you say, okay, in half year we're multimillionaire. In most cases, the gap is too big, so you won't be able to believe that. So you have first to establish a belief in between. Like, okay, it's possible for me to earn 10K per month, or it's possible for me to be super confident. Okay, so you just focus on the next level, and later when you're there, you focus again on the next level, so that you reach at the end your bigger goal. Otherwise, the gap is too big. Okay, so there are I am beliefs, like you can say like I am confident, okay? And so basically choose 1, 2, or 3 I am beliefs, 1 to 3 I am beliefs, right? And the next belief that you can choose is what if. So if I, for example, if I read personal development books, I start to believe more in myself. Or so these are like conditional beliefs. If I do this, or if I think that way, then this happens. For example, if I meditate every day, I will release a lot of tension and my life will be lighter. Or if I work on my beliefs, if I work on my mindset, my beliefs, I can get everything done. Okay? I can achieve my goals. So choose up to 3 beliefs that if you do a certain activity, you will achieve your goals. Okay? For example, if I do personal development, then I become way more confident than I have ever been, right? And the third belief that you need is the belief about your worldview. How do you see the world? It's very hard, for example, to have a belief like, I see the world positive, I'm a positive person. If your worldview is, okay, the world is hard, it's a scary place. This can come from stuff like the news that fuck you up, that just fuck up your brain. So you need a worldview that fits to this ideal self. For example, if you want to make a lot of money, you establish the belief like the world is full of opportunities, right? There's everywhere opportunities. There are everywhere options, opportunities to make money, or just general opportunities to grow. If you live in a world like that, if you have this belief, the world is way simpler, right? Don't forget, every thought is subjective. So you can choose it. Your mind will tell you bullshit, you can't do that. But that's exactly the clue that you can do it. Because why should the mind resist? Because there's some truth that we can overcome it. Why does the mind resist so hard? Because it's afraid that you can rise above your level, right? So just observe these thoughts. Observe these thoughts carefully. Okay? So you need these 3 beliefs. At least one I am belief for your goals, for something that you want, something you prioritize right now. A belief that is conditional. If I do this, then that happens. Or if I think that, this will happen. Then I will become like that. Then I will be that. If I train the gym, I will be pumped as hell. Or if I watch my nutrition, that's even better. If I watch my nutrition, then I will be really healthy and pumped, for example, right? This just helps you. It's like a bridge to reach these beliefs and your goals. And the third belief is a belief about the worldview. Okay, for example, for me, I have like 2 beliefs. The world is always for me and life gets always better. If I believe life gets always better, then I see everywhere evidence that my life and everything around me just gets better all the time, right? If I really start to believe that, your reticular activating system starts to seek evidence. So whatever, you probably ask yourself, but how is it possible? I believed before that something completely else, now I should believe something completely different. It works by itself once you believe that and find enough evidence, because your subconscious, your reticular activating system, will seek evidence that it's true. Even the stuff that you right now believe is true is actually not really, objectively speaking, true. Okay? You just started, once you were a child, you just forgot it, you started to believe in it. And then you see your subconscious started to seek evidence because of that. Like, oh my God, okay, if you believed I'm confident, then it started to seek evidence. Okay, where's evidence I'm confident? Okay, for example, I go out of my comfort zone, so I must be confident. Confident people do this. So this is how it works. And if you believe that your life is hard, you will find evidence like, okay, oh my God, last day I forgot something, someone blamed me. So there, your brain will find evidence that your life is hard. Okay? And just think on the next level how you upgrade that. For example, in the past, I believed I was super shy, actually even social phobic. So I upgraded my belief to I am courageous. I am courageous. Okay? Back then, I was actually thinking it more in German. Yeah. Anyway. So this is what you can do. And what happens now if your old beliefs occur? Okay, and how can you really wire once you have chosen already these new beliefs? These are now the two questions that you have, or that should appear in your mind. So, okay, first of all, you have now chosen these beliefs. If now your old beliefs occur, very often it happens because of an impulse. So you hear a sound, you see a person, maybe you see a person that you don't like, or you see the bad weather, so it's cold, and now you think, oh, fuck this, right? So there's like a trigger on the outside most often. So a trigger on the outside, and out of nowhere your mind starts to think these old thoughts. And what most people do is they try to fight it. Yeah, okay, I'm not that against anymore. I'm no different. But this is bullshit. You just make very often things worse. Okay? So what is better instead is you just observe these thoughts. You don't fight it. You accept this emotional resistance that occurs. So you just observe your mind rattling rather than fighting against that. That's the trick. It's like, every belief has an emotional charge. It's like a car with fuel. Okay, and once the car has no fuel, it won't drive anymore further. Boom, it just stays still. That's what we want. You want that the car stays still, right? That's why you observe that. You observe that. If you observe that, the fuel automatically ends by itself, right? If you fight against it, it will just drive even more. It will just drive faster. So you just observe, especially this emotional resistance. You can also meditate on that. You just meditate on it and observe that. Okay? And once you notice that you have accepted it, that you're okay with this feeling, there will be like an emotional release. You don't longer need to fight against it that strong anymore. And even if in the future, if it occurs again, it can be that it occurs sometimes again because you have different triggers. Every time you just do this and it gets slower and slower. So you have to fight less and less against it because it stops bothering you. Okay, you stop having emotional resistance towards that. So what you do then after that, now you choose a reason why you don't want to have this belief anymore. So what is painful about this belief? How would your life look in 5 or 10 years, for example? Right? What is really, really painful for you if this belief stays? Like painful in your life in general, right? Or painful by the way how people look at you or about your situation. So you write multiple reasons for that. And now you write down, okay, what is really great if it changes? How my life maybe look in 5 to 10 years or 1 year if this belief changes, right? So what is really pleasurable? What is really amazing if this belief changes? Okay. And now you do this basically with all these three beliefs: the I am belief, the if belief, if I do this, then that happen, or I will be this kind of person. If I pump, I become shredded, right? So, and the worldview belief. Okay, and now, after you have now the motivation by looking at the pain of it, after releasing the energy, and you have the pleasure also on the side, like you know the benefits, you are motivated, right? You know the reasons. It's not short-term motivation we talk about. You must have reasons. Now what you do is you just watch these beliefs every day, you write them somewhere down. And now you just visualize. So first you become aware, you become conscious and aware, and breathe in deeply 3 times, in and out, to let go of the rest, some distractions in your mind. And now you just look at evidence, something that happened, that these beliefs are more true, something that happened recently if possible. If not, you just take the oldest memory that you have. Okay? So about every single belief, you just remember basically evidence that it's true. Okay? And after that, you just visualize evidence for the future. So for example, how you will be in the future if you believe that. Okay? So for example, first you remember, okay, 2 days ago, someone was very kind to me. Maybe you have a belief like I attract positive people. Okay? I'm a people magnet, whatever. Okay? And now you have 2 days ago evidence someone was very kind to you, so attract kind people. Boom, you know, again, evidence for your belief. And now you visualize how in a couple of weeks or months you will attract even more and even greater people. You know, you'll be even greater people magnet. Okay? You'll be even greater magnet for success, for money, for everything. So you visualize the next case where next case in 2 weeks or 1 month or 2 months, where you're already like that. Okay? So your brain needs evidence. It needs evidence that you become more and more like that. That's why you focus every day by finding evidence and then visualizing the next scenario where you're already like that. You condition yourself like that to seek these beliefs in the future, to seek evidence by conditioning your reticular activating system. Your subconscious will seek evidence that you're like that in the future. Okay? And you will start to see these signs over the day. Like over the entire day, you will start to see, oh my God, yeah, really, I'm really becoming like that. And if the old voice occurs, first of all, you just observe that. You don't fight it. And that's it. If you follow this instruction, it's a guaranteed way to change any belief. Okay? It's a guaranteed way. Now, if you have chosen new beliefs or you made a lesson from this video, you can share in the comments down below. What was your lesson? What are the beliefs maybe that you have chosen, or what have changed already, right? And yeah, I see you next time. Bye bye.